to Frank Built Performance and Meats. Today we're doing brisket. What we have here is about a 4.5 pound brisket flat. We're going to put it on the smoke at about 205 to 210 degrees, and we're going to let this thing go pretty much all day. I would say maybe 7-8 hours. I'm going to do it a little differently. Normally I would do brisket, I'd smoke it until I get the bark I want, and then we would wrap it. Today I think I'm going to smoke it open for the entire time and just go for 100% smoke ring, color, and bark. So let's get this thing seasoned up. What we have is a espresso coffee rub that you can get at your local grocery store. It does not taste like coffee. Now this is a really big piece of meat, so you can go pretty heavy. It's all about the bark. And to top it, we are going to use this all-purpose smoky rub. The reason why I like this is because it has big chunks in it, and this is going to give our bark some really nice texture. And this rub also has smoke infused into it, so we should really adapt a nice smoky flavor with this brisket. This guy over. Now this side is the fat cap. Now normally I'm a very big fan of putting the fat side down. You'll hear a lot of guys say fat up, fat down. My experience is putting the fat side down creates a really nice protect source. So you have your fire underneath the meat, and when something sits over fire for any extended period of time, it burns. So what the fat does is, as fat cooks, it actually melts away and protects your meat. Today I'm going to do this a little differently. I'm going to put the fat up. Seeing as I don't want to wrap it, I'm going for all bark. I would like the fat to melt over the meat as it cooks and help us keep the meat from drying out. Okay, we are gonna let this rest for about 15-20 minutes, and then we are gonna put it on the smoker. So this is a brisket flat, and normally people slice this up to make sandwiches. This is not the point that you'd use for burnt ends. Megan and I are keto, so this is pretty much a meal prep. I'm gonna smoke this for about 6 to 8 hours. Pull it off when it's probe tender. I'm not even going to check for doneness to wrap at 4 hours. I'll go out, make sure it's not getting dry on us, and spritz it, and we'll check temp in 4 hours. But pretty much we're going to smoke this thing, let it rest for 3 hours or so, and I think it's about noon right now. I would say it's probably going to be about 8-9 o'clock, maybe 10 before I even start slicing it. And we're just meal prepping for lunch. So let's see how this turns out. We will see you in 4 hours to check temp on this. Alright, welcome back. It has been 4 hours. I have not opened this yet. We are going to open this up and check out our bark and see if our rub has set. I'm guessing after 4 hours it's been set. Hopefully it's not dry. I'm hoping to see a little bit of moisture on top, but let's give it a peek. Oh yeah, you can see when I press it, the juice kind of comes out. Look at right here. See that? Still moist. Okay. Right on. You can see a little bit of moisture right here still. So this is what I'm thinking. We're at the 4 hour mark. I think for another 2 hours, I'm gonna come out here every 30 minutes and spritz it with just water, just so it doesn't dry out on us. I'm not gonna wrap it. At the 6-hour mark, another 2 hours, we're gonna start checking temperature, and then hopefully maybe another hour, hour and a half after that, we'll be starting to get tender and probing it for tenderness. So we will see you in 2 more hours. Okay, we are going on 5.5 hours. Our temperature is about 190 degrees. You can see the smoke still going, so I'm hoping to see some really good bark here. I have been spraying it every 30 minutes for the last 2 hours. About a half an hour ago, I actually put it in a pan. I don't want to wrap this because I don't want to lose that bark that we built. Looks really awesome. Still see the water, the moisture. It's not dry. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover the pan with foil to help get this thing tender, and we're going to let this go for about another hour, and we're going to come out here and probe test it. So we will see you in 1 hour. Okay, it is now 7 o'clock. So far this thing has been on for 7 hours. We are going to uncover this and check for tenderness. It's still moist. Our bark is still there. This should just slide out like butter. We're getting there. I'm not happy with it yet. Oh, right here is really soft. The thicker part, see, it kind of lifts it. It moves the meat. I want a little more. So we are going to let this go for another half an hour and come out here and check. And if it is probe tender, we're going to let it rest for 2 hours and then cut into it. So hopefully I'm talking to you guys in about 3 hours, which puts us at 10 o'clock. All right, welcome back. It is now 9:30. We pulled this off at about 7:30, and I let it rest for about 2 hours to let all the juices kind of get absorbed back in. Our bark looks really, really good. The meat's still actually warm, so I want to slice into this thing, try it, and then put some in some containers for lunch this week and go to bed. So total so far, it's been 9 hours. I think we put it on at 12 and took it off at 7:30. Let it rest for 2 hours, so 9.5 hours total time. If this was a full brisket with the point on, which would come out to like here, I probably would have let it rest for about 4 hours, and it would have taken at least 12 or 13 hours. Sometimes longer, you know, it's hard to say. So let's get this thing cut open and see what it looks like. It's hot. Alright, that's good. Let's try a piece. Nice and soft. Pulls right apart. Super tender. Let's try it. You can see the steam 2 hours later. It's still hot. This is awesome. There you have it. It's a pretty simple brisket. I didn't wrap it, just covered it for 2 hours. It's good. I hope you guys try this.